Welcome back, folks. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. Hope you've had a great start to your week and it's great to have you back. But if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content that we're producing, why not hit that subscribe button? It only takes a second to do, but don't forget to hit that bell icon as well so you'll be notified when we upload any new content. So in today's review, we are taking a look at a brand that hasn't featured on the channel for some time now, and it's a running brand that is super popular in the US, but not so popular here in the UK or in Europe. So today we are reviewing Altra's new updated Timp 3. It is a lightweight, mid-cushioned, wide-toed, zero-drop trail running shoe. So let's give you a few stats on the new Timp 3 from Altra. The shoe retails in the UK at £135. Weight-wise, it comes in at 285 grams in a men's UK 9.5 and 240 grams in a women's shoe. It runs off a zero drop on the heel, so the stack height is 29mm under your heel and obviously 29mm under your forefoot. The shoe is available in two colorways for men and for women, and when it comes down to size, I've found the shoe true to size with really good width in the toe box. When it comes to the construction of the Altra shoe, you are running on a Quantic midsole, which is there to offer you lightweight levels of cushioning and a supremely comfortable ride over any distance. That is then paired up with Altra's zero drop heel offset, so placing your heel and your forefoot the same distance from the ground, trying to encourage a low impact form throughout your run. Coating that midsole is Altra's Max Track outsole. That's there to give the runner a good level of grip, traction and durability on a wide range of different surfaces. Also strategically placed under the metatarsals on the forefoot of that outsole, you have Altra's canted lugs. They're there to offer good levels of traction as you work through to toe off. Working up to the upper of the Timp 3, and it is constructed using this engineered lightweight breathable mesh fabric. We've got some overlays around the midfoot of that upper just to allow you to get a good lockdown within the shoe, and some more overlays around the eyelets where the laces go through just for a bit of added durability. We've got a good level of padding in the heel cup, the ankle collar and the tongue, and that tongue is also gusseted in the shoe. You obviously get Altra's foot-shaped toe box design, which allows you to stay nice and relaxed and spread those toes out naturally, offering a good level of comfort but also stability when you're out running on the trails. And finishing off the upper, you also get Altra's gaiter trap hook and loop system, which allows you to attach gaiters that are strapless to prevent debris building up in your shoes. Right, so that's a bit of info about the technical features of the new design Timp 3 from Altra, but we put a good 30 miles into the shoe, so let's go through the things that we've really enjoyed about running in the Timp 3 and maybe highlight a few of the areas we feel the shoe could be improved, but let's start with the good stuff first. Very similar to the Topo Ultra Venture 2 that we just tested and reviewed on the channel. If you haven't seen that review, I've left a link in the description and it's definitely worth checking out. This shoe has felt very comfortable to run in. For me, it's got just the right level of padding in that heel cup, around the ankle collar and in the tongue of the shoe, so it feels nice and plush wrapped around your foot, but it still allows you to get that good midfoot lockdown. I was a little bit worried about the heel counter because it's very soft in the heel, but I shouldn't have done. I felt very secure and I felt really dialed in and locked down in the back end of that upper as well. I'm always really surprised how comfortable this foot-shaped toe box is in an Altra shoe, and I'm not wide on foot shape at all. Before I first ran in an Altra, I just looked at them and thought, well, that's not the shoe shape for me. You know, me being quite narrow, I'm just going to rattle around inside that and have lots of lateral movement, and that really isn't the case with Altra shoes, and it's definitely not the case with the Timp 3. I felt really locked into that midfoot of the upper, and then you've just got this nice wide, airy, roomy toe box so your feet can stay nice and relaxed on foot strike. But I've got to be honest, this shape is weird and it does take some getting used to. When I'm out running in the Altras and I've forgotten I'm in an Altra, I look down at my feet, it does look odd. It's very different from the shape of a normal running shoe, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to get used to it. Another standout for me is the level and depth of cushioning you get in the Timp 3. This is a very comfortable shoe to run in underfoot. I think it's got that perfect balance of plush cushioning, but you still feel connected to the trails, and it offers a really good level of underfoot protection. I was out running in a shoe in some rocky, sharp areas. I didn't take any impact strikes through the forefoot of that midsole, so also offers a great level of protection too. Even though you've got that quite deep midsole in the shoe, because Altra have used that lightweight foam compound in the midsole, the shoe is very well balanced, so it actually feels a lot lighter to run in than it actually is. So lots of positives when it comes to testing out this shoe. Really nice comfortable upper, great lockdown, and a really good level of cushioning from that midsole. But it hasn't all been positives as we've been testing the shoe, and there's definitely a few things we feel could be improved. The first thing is the tongue in the shoe, and this is something that actually hasn't happened to me for ages in a running shoe, but it is one of my pet hates, unfortunately. So even though that tongue is gusseted in the shoe, as you go out running in the shoe and work through your miles, that tongue tends to slip down the side of the upper. It's not held in place by the laces or by the fact that it's gusseted in the shoe. Now, it hasn't really caused me any issues. It doesn't make the shoe any more uncomfortable. I've had no irritation, no rubbing or anything like that from it, but you can feel that tongue moving as you're running along, and it's just something that bugs me in the shoe. I tried lacing it up lots of different ways to try and stop it from happening, but whatever I seem to do with those laces, no matter how tight they were or how I laced the shoe up, the same thing happened in both uppers. I didn't get to test the shoe out in, say, a wet, muddy British winter, but I'm still not convinced by the levels of traction from this outsole. I don't think the lug is deep enough or aggressive enough to sort of handle those wet, muddy British conditions, but I also struggled for traction in some different areas as well. So I was out on the coast path, it was a dry day, the trails were dry, and where I was running it was quite loose, and I went to drive up this steep hill, and I really did struggle with traction through the forefoot of that outsole, and had quite a bit of slippage trying to make my way up the hill. So I'm not convinced by the traction, and I think it would really struggle in wet, muddy conditions, but we've reached that time of the review where we need to get some points on the Run4Adventure board. So let's start scoring the new updated Timp 3 from Altra, and let's start with the price first. With the shoe retailing in the UK at $135, I actually think that's quite expensive for the shoe when you compare it against other shoes within the marketplace that offer a very similar feel and a similar level of performance. So because of that, we're going to score the Altra Timp 3 a 7 out of 10 for price. Next up is comfort and performance, and it has been a very comfortable experience running in the new Timp 3. The uppers felt great straight out of the box. I've had no rubbing, no irritation, nothing like that from that upper. And personally for me, I think the midsole gives you just the right level of cushioning. It feels nice and plush underfoot over any distance, but it's not too deep, so you still feel connected and you feel very stable when you're out running on the trails, even if they're super technical. I think if we hadn't have had that slippage with the tongue and a few traction issues on the forefoot of that outsole grip, the shoe would have scored even higher, but it's still going to come in with a respectable 7 out of 10 for comfort and performance. Last always to score at Run4Adventure is durability, a super important part of testing and reviewing a shoe, but also a really important part when it comes to buying and treating yourself to a new pair of trail shoes. I've got to say, we have had a durability issue, unfortunately, with the Timp 3. So if I grab the other shoe, on the left shoe, we've started to have issues with overlays starting to sort of peel away from the upper. This actually started to happen after my first 9-mile run in the shoe. Now I know there's thousands of shoes produced, and this peeling hasn't affected the way it's performed, the way it's felt, the way it's run, but I still don't think it's a great thing to see in the early life of a running shoe. Obviously a bit of glue, we can stick it back down, no problem, but still not a great thing to see. So unfortunately, the Timp 3 is going to get marked down a bit, and when it comes to durability, we're going to give it a slightly disappointing 6 out of 10. So if you add all those scores up, the Altra Timp 3 is going to score 20 out of 30 at Run4Adventure. Moving on to the very subjective and very personal topic of looks of a running shoe, and I think the Timp 3 in this blue colorway looks okay. You know, it could be a bit more exciting. It's not blowing my mind, but I quite like the blue colorways that have been used. It's not offensive, it's quite understated, so I think it's not going to get a thumbs up. it's not going to get a thumbs down. Somewhere in the middle for the Timp 3. I think it could look a bit better, it could be a bit more colourful, but I think it's okay. When it comes to shoes that compare to the Timp 3, obviously Altra having that very unique sort of foot-shaped toe box width, there's not many shoes on the marketplace that offer you that type of fit. Other shoes from Altra will obviously give you that fit, so the Lone Peak 5 would definitely be worth looking out. It's got a slightly more stripped back design, slightly less cushioning, so if you like a bit more ground contact, less cushioning underfoot, it would definitely offer you that. Also, running shoes from Topo Athletic, like the Ultra Venture 2 that we reviewed a couple of weeks ago on the channel, they're going to offer you a very similar width in the toe box, but they do come with a slight offset on the heel. So if you've always wanted to try that wide toe box of an Altra shoe, but you're a bit wary of a zero drop, then the Topo Athletic shoes are definitely worth checking out. So that's how the shoes performed, what we think about the looks of the shoes, and some other shoes that compare to the Timp 3 from Altra. But we've reached that time in the review, so let's wrap this up with a quick conclusion. I've really enjoyed the fit of the Timp 3, having that nice connected midfoot and then that nice roomy toe box, so I felt nice and relaxed on foot strike. Also, for me, this midsole has felt really comfortable. For me, perfect balance of cushioning and connection underfoot. I think with a little bit more lug depth on that outsole grip, it would have definitely offered a bit more traction, and I think it would have allowed you to sort of run the shoe all year round out on the trails, which I think is always a positive thing when it comes to our trail running shoes. If you have always struggled for width in your trail shoes, you've always felt it a bit restricted or constricted in that toe box, and you feel a bit more room, a nice area feel is what you're after, then again, Altras are definitely going to offer you that. Or you want to try a zero drop shoe for the first time. You've always struggled having a heel offset and you want that more sort of natural planted feel when it comes to running out on the trails, then I definitely recommend checking out the brand and checking out the new Timp 3 from Altra. So that is a wrap on another review at Run4Adventure. Really hope you enjoyed it, guys. I really hope you found it helpful. I've left a link in the description below if you want to find out any more information about Altra or the Timp 3. Please click that link and do so. Or if you want to purchase a pair of these shoes, it is an affiliated link with Running Warehouse Europe, so it is a great way of supporting the channel and it doesn't cost you any extra. I'd love to hear your feedback, guys, when it comes to your experiences with the Altra brand, especially when it comes to comfort and performance, but also durability. Have you had any durability issues with your Altra shoes? Let us know in the comments below. Just to let everyone know that the order for our first ever Run4Adventure technical running apparel has gone in and it is being made as we speak. I can't wait to get all the orders in, to get them shipped out to you guys so that you can fly the Run4Adventure flag when you're out running and training and racing this summer. I've got to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported the channel and placed an order for a technical vest or a technical tee. They will be heading your way very soon. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. It's always appreciated. We will see you back here very soon. And as always, stay safe, keep on running.